Live from Bedford-Stuyvesant, the livest one, representing BK to the fullest. The notorious B.I.G. The only Christopher we acknowledge is Wallace. Raw deal.
Puff came out and he grabbed my arm. Yo, Gene, we gotta pray. I say, pray for what? That nigga's dead. And walked out the hospital door.
Raw deal. The last big night.
Hey, this is Big Gene. I'm here with Wisdom Clear again. And my man MREC TV is in the studio somewhere doing his thing. You know how he is. He'll pop up at any time. We're here to address the last big night. It's been a lot of situations going on and people been working hard and diligently to try to get this thing out. So I'm at a situation right now that me, myself, I can't spend another dime on it. But me, myself, as a man, and my word is my bond, and back in the day, I get them from my nuts, I gotta give it like I'm supposed to give it. I put people out there, MREC TV, Wisdom Clear, Jigger Fellas, they all help put this shit together. And I need to address what's actually going down and going to happen. So what we do, we're gonna do a 3-part series, and I'm gonna give you the documentary. And the reason I'm doing this at this point in time is this. If you would see the actual footage, I'm owe $100,000 in what they call footage in which you have to pay for, and I guess that's clearance fees. I owe $200,000 in opt-out insurance. You understand? And the much as I can get is $265,000 for the documentary. So I wasn't in this shit for the money, no way. I put my own money up to do this shit. You understand? It's completed, it's done. You understand? But it's gonna cost too much money. And then I still gotta look at this nigga Diddy, who might sue me for the fact of the matter, stuff is used in there. That's why the opt-out insurance gotta be paid. That's why all these clearance fees gotta be taken care of. But I don't give a fuck, I'm gonna give it to you 100. I could sit right here, tell the story, tell everything I need to tell to get this shit off my heart. And that's what I'm gonna do. You understand? You ain't gonna see nobody dancing in those silver suits. You ain't gonna see you ain't gonna hear the big song that we was trying to get clear. You ain't gonna hear none of the heavy D thing, because the last big night wasn't only about Big's death, it was about my start in the security business. You understand? It was about how I saved people that you love, that you hear, that you see lives. You understand? How I put myself out there and I brought people together who wouldn't be together today. You understand? If it wasn't for me bringing them together, talking and letting them see what they need to see, how they can make more money together than they do fighting apart. You know, the people know who I'm talking about. The people who doing videos and songs today that I care not to mention their names. They know it was because my conversation with them that they got a chance to mend their ways with each other. But we're not here for that. We're here to find out about the last big night. So I'm not gonna go into the documentary of my start in this game. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go from where me and Wolf was about to go out to Cali. So when I finish telling you this and these whole stories, you're gonna find out and you're gonna know what happened to Wolf. You're gonna know what happened to us in Cali, what was going on, the steps that we took, that we made. You're gonna find out what was said about Big, what Big was doing and how Big was reacting, what Big was going on, you're gonna find out what actually happened from the time we got off the plane from New York, left the plane from New York and got to Cali, and when Big got killed and when Big got murdered. You're gonna have all that information. I'm doing that, and the people who's trying to work on the selling shit, man, I'm tired. I'm not putting no more of myself trying to get this done. So the information, you bloggers, you guys who want to take like you know what's going on, well, like you know what went down and you want to run with it. Some of you wasn't even born then. Some of them you never come out behind your computer. You want to, size me up. You want to mention my name. You want to do, man, I don't give a shit about none of that, bruh. I'm on the streets in the Bronx, Manhattan, all the time. Mount Vernon. I fuck with a lot of niggas from Money on in Mount Vernon. Some of the best rappers come from Westchester up there. Best rappers in the Bronx. Best rappers in Manhattan. I fucks with all of them. And they know me. And I'm talking about the older guys. I'm talking about the ones who was making music in the late 90s, and the 90s and the early 2000s. I don't have to mention their names. So what I'm gonna do at this time, I'm gonna start this off and I'm gonna let you know what was going on and what was happening with this whole East Coast, West Coast thing. Now, people don't even know why the East Coast, West Coast beef really got to that point. And a lot of it had to do with Pac and Big relationship. You understand? Pac was dealing with some cats that was from Brooklyn, and Big was like, he was the type of dude that he was trying to make music, but he didn't want to be involved with the dudes that Pac was dealing with because they was no good for what he was trying to do in his music career. But Big couldn't tell Pac, his man, that because he felt that Pac was the type of dude that if he would have told Pac about these cats, Pac would have ran back and said something to them, then Big would have had a beef that he had to deal with. And Big was trying to make music at that time. He didn't want to be in, all that street shit was over for him. You understand? So Pac's still running with these dudes in the whole 9 yards. So Big could not say nothing to him. So when the same dudes that he was running with and somebody sent them at Pac or whatever like that, or they got at Pac or whatever, Pac want to blame Big for his shit. He knew Big ain't had nothing to do with it. Listen to Pac music. He pours his heart and he tells his stories in his music. You understand? And one of the stories, he tells of the guys who went at him and why they went at him. You know the song. And if you don't, do your history. I'm not giving it to you. Look at his shit. He'll tell you who shot him, why he was shot. He say key things and everything. So now, Big and him got a little problem and everything like that. But the problem start with Puff and Suge. One day we was somewhere, I think we were downtown, and Wolf brought this magazine to Puff. And it had his baby mama and his child in there with Suge. And the caption on the magazine said, "What the East Coast won't take care of, the West Coast will." What the East Coast won't take care of, and the West Coast will. And it was Suge Knight with Misa, Puffy baby mama, and she had Justin in her arm. This shit pissed Puff off like crazy. This motherfucker almost popped a vein in his neck. He called Misa and she was everything but a child of God. So Puff was livid. He was going crazy behind that shit. So it was never no talking to Suge and Pac them about stopping all this bullshit, because when they had guys that could have stopped it and they had meetings about it to come together, he was never going to come to the meeting no way. He never was going to be a part of it because he felt like he would have to owe somebody something for stopping it. The cats who could have stopped the bullshit and had them do their thing and we do our thing, he felt like he was going to owe them something. So I guess it was better for them to lose their lives than them to be out there. So this whole Cali trip comes up, and me, I ain't turning down nothing but my collar most of the time. So when they was talking about we was going out to Cali and everything and what they was gonna do, I didn't have a problem with it. I knew I was gonna come back home. I took an overlong time. I'd rather be, judged by 12 than carried by 6. I know ain't nothing beats the ambush. I know all these rules and regulations that you're supposed to follow. And then I was told we wasn't going nowhere. We was gonna chill at the hotel, we was gonna chill at the studio, and that was it. So I didn't have a problem doing that. Go to Soul Train, you understand? Chill at the hotel, go to the studio. That what was told to me. But it was far different when we got out there. Trust and believe. So I called Anthony Wolf Jones because I had our itinerary for us to fly out to Cali. And I said to Wolf, I said, yo, Wolf, what time you gonna get to the airport? And Wolf said to me, airport? He said, I ain't going. I was like, what do you mean you ain't going? I got the itinerary, I got your ticket right here. They gave me your ticket, you know, everything. He said, I ain't going, Gene. He said, I asked Puff to give me 2 tour buses so I could take me and all my fellas, and this is all the guys he had from, I guess, Co-op City, Edomore Projects, the Valley dudes, because Wolf was heavy in the Valley. You understand? He had those dudes who was ready to get busy no matter what. They was his family. They was his friends. And, you know, they used to always come to the party, you know, dressed in their minks, they gators, the whole 9 yards. And they used to follow Wolf. That was their boy like that. You understand? So now Wolf says, I ain't going, Gene. He said, I can't tell you how to make your money, but I'm not going. Because if he not going out there right, I'm not going out there at all. I said, all right, dude, you know what I'm saying? Well, I'm gonna roll with them. And that's where we at. So, me and Diddy get on the plane. We're headed to California. He gives me his briefcase, takes a seat in first class. I go to coach. In between the middle of the flight, I get bored as fuck, but I got his briefcase. So I go in the briefcase and it's got, you know, contracts and everything like that. And it's got big contracts. So, you know, I'm just reading it just to have something to do, being nosy in a motherfucker. And I go in and they start talking about what Big was going to get paid and everything like that. And it was saying something about, you know, signing the contract, you're going to get $250,000. And then if the contract go gold or platinum, or they had different increments in which he was going to get another $250,000. Just this money he was going to get from how well the album does. You know, and they had shit about him being a sophomore album and that, it was, you know, and it usually talking about how they don't usually go well, but if his go well, what he would get. And at the end of the contract, it had something about marketing and publishing. and it had reference to the fact that he was going to get that back, or they were going to discuss him getting that back, you know, or the part in which Puff owed. So, you know, we get off the plane, we go, you know, so we staying at the Beverly Hills Hotel, and Big and them is at the Four Seasons. So now, Big is there with his crew and everything like that. And, you know, we supposed to be going to the studio, do a little studio time and things like that. And as we are, you know, going back and forth, just me and Puff. Puff was running around, you know, and he was having meetings with Will Smith, and he was just, I guess he was trying to get into the acting thing too, stuff like that. So he was just taking meetings and things, going back and forth. So we was really never with Big and them. He was just having Big on the telephone, say, yo, you going to the studio? Your studio is booked right here, booked right there. And we were just going everywhere. Just like, I mean, like we was running around Cali like this kid ain't have a care in the world. You understand? It was this one incident in which we were in the limousine and we were going down Melrose and we see Dr. Dre and a friend of his just sitting out at the cafeteria eating. And Puff seen him, he stopped. And he stopped the limousine and everything. So he was gonna go and talk to Dre and them. And we was about, Dre and them was way across the street and we was getting out the limousine. And this little, I guess he was Chicano, Mexican or something like that. He was surprised to see Puff and he went up to him, he said, yo, Puff Daddy, Puff Daddy. And Puff was like, yeah. And the dude was like, fuck you, Tupac, and took off running. This nigga Puff ran down the block at the old boy. And I'm like, wow. So I'm chasing this motherfucker. I'm chasing him, chase this guy. And this is a little kid and everything like that. And I was like, yo, man, we got like a block and a half away. I said, bruh, what the fuck is wrong with you? What was you chasing this kid for? He said, I don't even know. He said, I don't even know, Gene. I was bugging the fuck out. I said, yeah, you was. So we went across the street, got back up there, went across the street, we talked to Dr. Dre and them. You know what I'm saying? We left. Dre told me, yo, you need anything, let him know, whatever like that. So whoop-de-whoop. They shot the Willie Bobo. He got back in the car and we left. So now, this whole time, you know, he on the phone, you know, still with Big. Yo, you going to the studio? You know, don't waste my studio time, because Big was out there, you know, to do the Soul Train shit. And he was out there to do his video. He was shooting Hypnotize. So now, you know, the next day come up, we're on, I think, First Street, and they shooting this garage scene. When we first came in, they were shooting this garage scene. So Big and his crew is around, and at the time, you know, this was around 90, it was 96 or whatever like that, and I was smoking Newport cigarettes. And it was 97 at the time, right? And I was smoking Newport cigarettes, and I had the box joints. And in Cali, they only had they can only find the ones that was made off the soft pack, but they taste different. So when I broke out with the box joints, everybody wanted the cigarette. So being who I was, like, yo, fuck it, I ain't giving y'all nothing. And the Big was like, yo, Gene, give me a cigarette, man. I said, man, I ain't giving you nothing, bro. And just took a hit off the cigarette and then just looking and laughing at these niggas. And then now, you know, Puff don't like cigarette smoke, so he see me smoking. Yo, Gene, you smoking? Nah, I ain't smoking. Put it out. But Big could smoke. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no problem for Big and smoke. I said, yeah, all right. So then D-Rock was like, yo, you ain't giving my man no cigarette? I said, no, I ain't giving him nothing. Yo, Big was like, yo, Gene, give me a cigarette, man. I said, all right, so tell me who chasing you. He said, because y'all doing all these chase scenes around here. Who the fuck chasing you? And nigga just came out the top of his head and said, yo, them face lawyers, they looking for some child support. And then all the niggas, all their crew started laughing and shit like that. And I was like, yeah, all right. Gave the nigga a cigarette. So now we go down to the street level, and they doing it with the motorcycles and everything like that. We come out the garage because they finished shooting that garage scene where, you know, Puff and Big, and then they say, oh shit. So then we go to the street and we shoot the street level. So on the street level, I get a phone call, you know, and I get a phone call and it's Dawn Farrow. I knew Dawn, you know, because she used to come always Puff parties, and Puff used to, you know, like fuck with her back in the day. Whatever, whoop-de-whoop, however they did it, you know, Puff used to be with her, you know, when she come to New York or whatever like that. So we was shooting the street scene, and then I noticed wasn't no motherfucking security. I'm like, you got the camera people and everything like that. You had me, Paul, and like 2 other guys, and we shooting a major video in Cali. So I called Kirk Burrows. At this time, Kirk Burrows was the president of Bad Boy. You understand? Where Puff was the CEO, Kirk Burrows was the president. And I was like, yo, Kirk, you know what I'm saying? You know we in California and ain't no motherfucking security. He said, yo, Gene, I'm gonna get back with you and everything like that. I said, yo, all right, man, get back with me. So now, Dawn Farrow had gave me a phone call. She had this dude named Unique on the phone. Unique used to run a crew and a club called Mecca Audio, and he used to do parties at Club 2000 on Monday nights. He the one brought Dre, Snoop there. He used Onyx, you understand? He was doing the Luke thing, but he was doing the East Coast style at Club 2000 Monday nights. Crazy. If you could get in that shit wall to wall. So now, Unique calls me because me and Unique had a little thing, whereas that, you know, I would set him up and tell him how to do his security. I would never work for him because Unique had a wild bunch, man, and I was never putting myself in that position, you know, with him. But we was cool. He said, yo, Gene, you know, how many security, you know, he used to ask me questions, you know, what you think I'm gonna need, what this and that, and I'll say, yo, I'll look at it and I'll let you know. And you know, he used it, he didn't. But we had another incident where him and Dougie Fresh, you know, had a situation, you understand? And that's where that song, Hey Ho, Aight came from, you understand? Enough respect for 112, with respect for the Mecca Audio crew. I squashed the beef between them two. I let them squash the beef themselves and let them come together, you understand? And I brought them together to squash the beef that they had. So now I get a call, Dawn got Unique on the phone. And Dawn said, I said, yo, what's up, Unique? He said, yo, Big Gene, what up? I said, I'm in Cali. He said, yeah, I know. Dawn told me, vest up. And the phone went dead. I said, oh, shit. So I called back and I said, yo, Dawn, that was Unique? She said, yeah, that was Unique. I said, I didn't know you knew Unique from Mecca Audio. You know, Waynesworth Hall. He said, yeah, I know him. I said, yo, he was telling me the vest up. He said, yeah, Gene, them niggas is coming to get y'all. I was like, oh, shit. So I called Kirk Burrows back on the phone. I said, Kirk, we in the middle of California and we ain't got no security. You understand? It's me, Paul, Kenny, you understand? And, you know, D-Rock, but that's Big's man. He ain't security, you know. We don't have enough security. What's going on? He said, yo, Gene, I told you I'm gonna call you back. I'm gonna talk to Puff, see can I get y'all more security? He calls me back. He said, yo, Puff ain't getting no more security. Yeah, I said, oh shit. I said, all right. So now we shooting this whole night scene and everything like that. You seen the video hypnotized and everything like that, and everything was cool. So I'm thinking that, okay, shoot the video, we go back to the hotel and everything like that. And that's where Big went. Big was going, whenever he wasn't working, he was in the hotel, the radio station, or the studio. You can't show me, other than that vibe party, you cannot show me nowhere, nothing where Big was out partying. Me and Puff was at the House of Blues. You understand? Me and Puff was at the Century. Me and Puff was going to movie theaters. You understand? We was doing it all. We was going everywhere that he wanted to go. Like I told before, I thought the kid had a death wish. You understand? We were doing a lot of things that we shouldn't have. But Big was never at not one party we went to. Not one party Big was at. So now, Puff is doing his thing. He's with Sally Richardson at the time. You know what I'm saying? We going to the movies, we going to dinners, little lounges and everything like that. They shooting, they still shooting Hypnotized video, and we're about to do the scenes where Big is in the white suit and it's the mermaids and the fish and all this shit going on. So this particular day, Puff leaves me with Big. We're in the Winnebago. D-Rock goes with Puff. Now, Puff never left me with Big ever. You know what I'm saying? And Big Crew is usually around and something like that. But this particular day, it was just Big and me, and we in the Winnebago. And I was like, I felt that shit to be funny that Puff left me with him because he never done that before. So Big is going over some contracts and everything like that. And then he asked me for another cigarette. I knew, but yo, Gene, let me get one. He had the soft packs, but he didn't have the box thing. So he said to Gene, he said, yo, Gene, let me get another cigarette. So my man, I'm not giving you nothing, bruh. Damn, man. She asked me for cigarettes for, bro. Don't you got cigarettes? He said, you know them shits don't take the same. Give me a cigarette. I said, yeah, all right, man. Here goes a cigarette, man. So he was talking like that. He was like, he was talking about, you know, his contracts. He said, yo, man, you a good dude, Gene. He said, I would take you with me, man, but you love that nigga Diddy. You love that nigga Puffy so much. You know what I'm saying? Man, get out of here, man. He said, yeah. I said, man, I'm going where the money at. He said, nah, you ain't going where this money at. I said, nigga, you broke. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You got money. He said, look at this right there. So he showed me a contract. And I think at the time the contract was for either $62 or $6.2 million. It had Junior Mafia, Little Kim, The Commission, I think Tracy Murray or Tracy something like Murray, and Cameron. He started telling me about Cameron. He said, yo, Cameron, he felt like Cameron was the best rapper from Harlem. You understand? The nigga loved Cameron. He said he didn't like Mace, and they tried to play it up like Puff like tried to play it like him and Mace. Nah, he ain't give a fuck. He said, yo, he said this, he said, yo, listen here. He told me that day, he said, yo, how you change a nigga Mace? He was Murder Mace, now he just Mace. You know what I'm saying? They used to get on him like that, you know what I'm saying? So he felt Cameron was the better rapper, and he had signed Cameron, or I thought he signed Cameron. So now he going over to his contracts and everything like that. And then he was telling me about how close him and Lil Kim was. You understand? And the things that he did, on Lil Kim album, and that, if Diddy would have known the extent that he would have had to pay for the publishing, but since he didn't put it in his name and stuff like that, Diddy couldn't do nothing about it. So I was saying to the nigga like this, I was like, so what is publishing? You understand? Because I seen it on his contract that Diddy owned his publishing, or some of his publishing like that. He said, that's when if I write something for somebody, I would have to get paid for that. But since he owned a percentage or he owned the publishing, he get paid for it. I said, oh shit. He said, it's different from the marketing shit. So he explained the marketing thing. He said, the marketing is where you see my face or something like that on a poster, or you see me on I'm doing something for like, what was that beer out that he was doing it from? St. Ives or whatever like that. You know, he gets paid for that from the marketing thing like that. I said, oh, okay, all right, shit like that. Then the phone rang. You understand? And it was his mother on the phone. So then him and his mother was having the conversation. I said, you want me to step out? He said, nah, you good. So then he said his mother was talking about this contractor that said that he don't pay $60,000, that he was gonna stop building the house. So then Big said, nah, I ain't gonna stop building nothing, Mom, just give me the number. And she just kept going on, and he said, yo, Mom, he ain't gonna stop building nothing. Give me the money, give me the number, and I'm gonna have some people call him. So he got off the phone with his mother after they had that conversation about the contract, and I said to him, damn, bruh, smoking a cigarette, you owe everybody. The fuck is you, broke, bruh? You owe Mike Gadget $30,000 for the trucks and everything like that. So he looked at me with the strange look in his face. He's like, yo, oh shit, how you know that, bruh? I said, man, come on, niggas talk, big. He said, oh, that shit is fucked up.